Hi y'all, so for the discussion, I have my notes here, and then I also have the questions for the discussion pulled up here on my phone, just because I forgot to write them down on paper. So for the first question, it's do we agree with the civil disobedience article? And I argued that I didn't agree with it because I feel like a huge part of it is that when it gets to a point where people are disobeying laws, even if they're not violent or like aren't going to be dangerous in any sort of way, I feel like it can get to a point to where people are breaking laws that they feel are unjust, and it can be dangerous. The world would just kind of get very chaotic and out of control because people wouldn't know when to stop. So for the second question, identify a current law that you think is unjust, and why do you think it's unjust? One law, I couldn't really think of any, honestly. Like, there's a lot of little things that I could have argued, but one thing that I thought was unjust that I had done when after I did some research and kind of looked up some laws that people had seen were unjust. One was talking about religion within schools. I find that this is kind of unjust considering that schools were built up originally and they talked about religion and they taught religion within schools, and that's where the original schools would teach. Was the history of the church and whatnot. So I think it's kind of unjust in a way to where we can't even talk about, let alone teach, but we can't even talk about religions as teachers in our school districts. The next question I had was how might we fix this unjust law or redeem this unjust law? And to me, I kind of said was I don't really know how we would kind of fix this unjust law. It's one of those things where I guess you would kind of disobey it or go against it if you really felt strongly about it. But it's not really nobody really talks about this law and being how unjust it is and whatnot. So I feel like it won't probably ever get focused on because people don't really focus on unjust laws when it comes to religion. But otherwise, I don't know how else we would fix that law. Next question is civil disobedience an acceptable way to challenge a law that you feel is unjust? And I was as I mentioned in the article, we have the right to petition, but this wasn't really a strong claim for me because we do have the right to petition, 100% we have the right to petition, but that doesn't mean we can go and break rules and laws just because we feel like they're unjust. So the question being should we follow the laws even if they're unjust? It's yeah, to me, I think we definitely should, unless they're going completely against your rights. Next question is what should one what did you discover about the ability of judging, doing the believing game, and how hard was it for me to do the believing game? For me, it was kind of hard to do to believe and put my judgment away and to believe about what the article was saying, because I don't agree with what was being said. So I kind of basically everything I said within the believing game that we had to write a paragraph for, it was just a bunch of lies, and I just made up stuff because I didn't know how to truly believe and take away what this person was saying in this article, because I feel like a lot of it didn't really have good claims and backed up examples and information for me to change my mind. So there's one or two things that I was okay, that makes sense, but there was always something that I felt like I could argue against it when it comes to not agreeing with the whole civil disobedience argument. Next question is what do you discover about your ability to use the doubting game and kind of play the doubting game? The ability to do the doubting game was super easy for me because it was really just me stating my opinion, because I do so it was easy, I guess, in that sense. It was also I kind of have strong opinions, and when it came to this, I did have I did kind of have my mind set on what is right. However, I feel like I could have my mind changed because I know there are definitely some laws out there that are probably unjust and go against our rights and whatnot. So if somebody were to be able to give me more examples, I might even be able to change my mind on certain things. But as of right now, I feel like that article didn't back up its claim as well as it could have. And then the final question, Was it easier to believe or doubt? As I said before, it was easier to doubt because it was just what was true to me and like what I felt about it. Even when it comes to other articles and whatnot, I feel like doubting it is always easier because you can always question what somebody is stating, but you can't always believe it, especially these days, whether you're on social media or the news or articles. It's just super hard to be able to take what you hear and actually truly believe it without having to question it or do your own research without truly knowing. So yeah, those are my notes for this discussion. Thank you.